Welcome back to the last segment of the Fourth Estate, discussing the Lukwago verdict and its implications for the future of the politics of Kampala and the management of Kampala Capital City Authority. Chris, you're itching to come in before the break.
I wanted to inform Chirawa here that, you see, policies affect people's lives, affects people's fortunes, affects people's honor. And when you are playing politics and talk about the well-being of people, well-being ultimately will come to the word honor. How you honor people. There are certain policies that diminish people's honor. Will you call that country having people that respect the well-being of people? In this case, if a person like Lukwago sees his honor being diminished, you want him to say, I conform. Building a conformist society is part of the errors of Africa is making. People should be able to ask questions, demand answers, debate those answers, take your judgment, make your action. So if Lukwago feels diminished, he has to fight for his honor. I would ask you, can you substantively tell us how many times the office of the Lord Mayor has been honored by KCCA and he abused it? For instance, you are telling him to go and wave at crowds. He can't even go to a carnival. Is it a carnival? He can't even go and open a road. The minister dishonors himself to go and donate graders. And you know the environment that politics plays in. It's what we're going to discuss here. We have seen reform cycles in this country. You have seen so many commissions of inquiry. You know as a lawyer, Kirawa. Have you seen most of those reports implemented? They are never. Why? Because they do not bring political dividends to the government in power. Hold on. These other commissions of inquiry, in fact, even post-mortem reports are never released. Why? They don't bring political dividends to the government in power. But this tribunal was set up to get a political dividend. And that dividend is kicking Lukwago out. Is that the political environment you as an intellectual would want to operate in?
Let him answer.
You see, I'll tell you something as a lawyer and as a citizen of this country and a resident of Kampala. The one thing that I will always tell you, whatever you do, when you go out to vote, think. When you think about these things, I always tell people, operate within the law. Now, if the Lord Mayor feels that, wait, Chris.
The law is subordinate to politics.
That's what I'm telling you. If he feels that the law is not serving his political ends, then he knows where to take the law. To Parliament. As long as they're operating within the law, as long as you're operating within the law, it's perfectly fine.
Did the South Africans take the apartheid law to Parliament?
What do you mean?
They take it to Parliament.
Even after Mandela was released, there was a need to go to Parliament.
How many South Africans died?
There was a need. Even here, we've suffered with that.
Let me ask a question.
But you see, let us
let me ask a question here, Kiriowa. Are all laws good laws?
Yes.
All laws are good laws.
All laws are
and
good
they
laws.
should be respected
And
as
they
they
must
are.
be respected.
So if you have a situation like he's referred to South Africa, where he says whites only, blacks only,
yes,
or non-natives, and everybody is supposed to comply with that law?
You see, the law, that is the, you see, you must understand one thing, Charles. As long as the law is in place, you must follow it.
I thought that...
And once you feel, you see, laws are not cast in stone. Laws are actually, the amendments and the changes in the law keep showing the aspirations and the changes of the people of that society. Now, even when the apartheid regime was overthrown, there was a need to go back to the law to remove where whites only was and allow everyone else to be there.
Let's just, for the last few minutes of this discussion, concentrate on the three issues that were raised by these councillors, the petition councillors.
Yes.
Abuse of office.
Yes.
Lukwago was found guilty on this.
Yes.
Incompetence.
Yes.
Lukwago was found guilty on this. Misconduct or misbehavior. Lukwago was still found guilty on this. Rodney, if you look at the political structure of this country, from top to bottom, who would survive an indictment on these three issues?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very incredible judgment to find someone incompetent and that kind of stuff. Someone of Elias's standing. He's a very smart lawyer by most accounts, and I found it hard to believe that he would be found guilty on all three counts. So, by most accounts, it's a very, it was a very unfair tribunal. I was surprised he cooperated with it at all. I think it was very unfair that he was subjected to that kind of tribunal. But for me, really, the issue right now is that within the big picture, this is a state trying, obviously, as Chris has pointed out, to try and find some kind of of mileage in the center in the capital city of Uganda, and I think that Erias Lukwago has proved himself to be a very, very shrewd operator, and I think it is testament to his own powers as a politician that in fact he's being subjected to this kind of treatment. I mean, he's been humiliated enough. I mean, they've beaten him in public. He's been taken to hospital for his injuries. What I can't understand is why they want actually now to finish him off. I can see why they would want to have two offices, and in effect, in some ways, they were trying actually to control him. But then the tribunal now, and finding him guilty on North counts is a bit extreme. I think it's going too far, and I hope that he doesn't succumb to the need to run again for that office, because he will be just committing suicide once again.
Mr. Chiriwa, let me ask the question. How do you gauge incompetence?
You see, incompetence is simply a question of what would the ordinary person do. For example, you are required to sign minutes. For example, you're a leader. You're required to sign minutes. And that's why I'm telling you, that's why I was telling you that I wonder how my friend Lukwago got himself into this situation. Because the law tells you sign minutes. You get what I mean? And you call meetings, minutes are not signed. You get what I mean? You go on for 2.5 years, you don't have minutes signed. Now, that's what I'm saying, that an ordinary person would know that once you have a meeting, you sign minutes. How do you get yourself into this? That is where I depart from Chris's thing. You must play your politics, but within the confines of the law. You sign the minutes, then agitate for your honor. You get what I mean? You sign the minutes, you agitate for your honor. For example, now I'll give you the example of abuse of office. It's a very simple example. This is related to trade licenses. Trade licenses are set by statutory instrument by the minister. It's the law. It must be followed. Kasita complains to the minister, they call meetings, the minister goes to parliament and says we are going to review the what? We're going to review the trade licenses. You are the Lord Mayor. You know that under the law you're charged to collect revenue. That's one of your duties as the authority, to collect revenues for the city. You write a letter telling people don't pay those taxes because they're being reviewed in public. He's a senior lawyer. He's a seasoned lawyer. He would know that as long as the law is in place, it must be followed. So you played politics, survived with the Kasita people or the public. Yes, it is a public concern. It's a public,
have there been other incidents? Just the point you raised, have there been similar incidents elsewhere whereby a minister has proposed a TV license and the TV license has been vetoed, or has proposed, or Kampala Capital City Authority, for example, has proposed a kind of tax on borders, and that has been vetoed at some stage? You see, that's what I'm saying, that you see, there is the proposal getting into the law, and there's another thing when the law is already there and you're dealing with it. Now, Lukwago gets himself, he's a politician, he's talking about the people's needs very well, but he tells the people don't pay taxes. Once you tell people don't pay taxes, you're playing outside the law. So his place in politics the law and the politics at that point couldn't merge. Do you think the impeachment of Lukwago will resolve Kampala's problems? Part of Kampala's problem. Like what? Like you see the clash of egos, the clash of persons. People must understand that there is a law. Whoever comes into play in Kampala must know that I'm coming to play in here under this kind of legal regime. And the legal regime is that from the constitution, Kampala is governed by the central government. And the authority governs Kampala on behalf of the central government. Do you get what I mean? So for me, as far as I'm concerned, and I not agree with Rodney that they were very unfair. The thing is that what we look at in society as trivial, what society looks at as trivial, the law doesn't look at as trivial. You see, when the law, you may call it a small thing, signing minutes, what is so important about that? Stopping people from paying, what's so important about that? You get what I mean? Some people have said that the grounds were frivolous, but that's the law. And you see, you must remember that the law in Kampala says he will be removed for those reasons. The law for the removal Charles, of the member of parliament doesn't say so.
You see, Charles,
yes, Chris.
Chiriwa, I think we haven't debated before, and I hope your participation in the NRM part activities help you to get an insight into political dynamics. Because I see your frame of mind and frame of analysis is illegal. And that means you have not appreciated that the primary actors in policy formulation are elected officials, not you, Kiwan and Kampala advocates. And if you begin to appreciate that elected officials have the upper hand in the policy making, the law making, change it, remove it, you'll begin removing your frame of analysis from just gymnastics of legal regime to understanding issues before the law comes into place. Your own party, for instance, using both codified and uncodified actions, shows a preference for disorder as a tool of political management in this country. It is. I have just asked you here, so many tribunals have been put in place, so many commissions of inquiry. Their reports can never be made public because they don't come with political dividends. Now, you are here telling us, you know, the law. Are you aware? Hold on. Where you see a country emphasizing on the law, that is a dictatorial country. Ask yourself, as an NRM party supporter, how strong is our bureaucracy? How strong is Musisi on her own to deliver service in Kampala? That she has these committees, she has this kind of civil servants whose work is to actually plan for Kampala City Council, identify the issues, bring them on board, work on them. Why are you turning civil servants into political activists? I know in the policy making, civil servants exist at whatever cycle. That's why we have a head of civil service. But their role is peripheral to the role of elected officials. Okay. Now you are elevating the Musisis to be the main actors in the formulation, and you are endangering civil service in this country.
Okay. Charles, let me respond. I'll just tell you something. You see, you ask me why I emphasize the law, because I am a lawyer. That's what I know. You are wait a minute. Wait a minute. You are a political analyst, and therefore you will go the political way. What I am telling you, whatever you are going to do in society is guided by law. And your failure to appreciate the law is what causes the challenge. Now, do not attempt for 1 minute to analyze politics without analyzing the law. You will analyze the law.
Is there a possibility?
Never look at the law.
Hold it a moment.
In your legal practice, never look at the law without understanding the forces that shape the law.
You see, that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you.
Is there a possibility? Is there a possibility, Mr. Chiriowa, that the law is interpreted through political lenses? That a different establishment will look at the KCCA Act and say, actually, the Lord Mayor is right in demanding these answers from the Executive Director, and the Executive Director should have complied to the authority of the Lord Mayor and presented those for the better running and effective running of Kampala Capital State Authority.
Charles, you see, we must understand something. There is a process for dealing with the Executive Director. The tribunal we are discussing today is discussing the Lord Mayor's conduct. Whether he is entitled to accountability or not, I don't doubt. However, how does that stop him from signing minutes? How does that stop him from convening meetings? How does that...
Are those facts in dispute, by the way? Is it true that he actually did not sign minutes?
Or did not
you see, the thing is, Rodney, that's what I'm saying, that irrespective of whether there is politics or not, the only answer there can be to the question.
But do you agree about the basic unfairness of having a tribunal called by the minister, who is an NRM functionary, and who appoints a judge to try Lukwago, who is a very, very vocal opponent of the regime? Is there a degree of fairness about that?
I'll tell you, the Public Inquiries Act requires that the commissions of inquiry are set up by the president. Yeah? Who is an NRM... Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Please answer my question.
No, wait a minute. Who is an NRM party leader? Yeah? Correct?
Yes.
Now, the law here says that the minister shall appoint the tribunal. Whom would you imagine would appoint the tribunal? In your view, if you were asked...
can you answer his question about the fairness?
I think you see the thing is... You see the thing is...
What is the character of the minister appointing a tribunal?
No, I'm not going to discuss... I'm not going to discuss character.
Hold on.
I will not discuss... I will not discuss characters of people.
It was embossed in yellow ribbons, by the way.
You know, you see... But the book itself was blue.
Get out the narrow aspect of the law.
The book was blue.
I've seen lots of interpretations
I will
about that.
not get into discussing character.
But you're a politician, you're not a lawyer.
Gentlemen, our time is out. Get out of here.
You see, but
you carry bags of money for campaigns. That means
you see, now this is the kind of thing that this is the kind of thing I encourage you to. I always tell people that I encourage people to think, then talk.
Exactly.
Not to talk.
Okay, gentlemen, our time is out. We need to get out of here.
I encourage you to be mature. When you start making... Don't make absolutely baseless statements to disparage my character and character of other persons because you're on national TV. But then
our time is out.
Why do you diminish Lukwago's honor and you want to be honored?
Why would I
our time is out. We need to get out of here. Hold it. We need to get out of here.
What is the
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chris, thank you very much. Chris, thank you very much. We need to get out of here. Rodney, thank you very much.
You know,
our time is out. Thank you very much to all our viewers.
Very important.
Chris, please.
be mature.
I am going to take charge here, and I'm going to tell you guys our time is out, and we need to get out of here.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Join us next Sunday.